Let's look at some of the important settings in your flight app. In this case, we're going to use the DJI Go 4 app, which is sort of a modern controller program that most people are going to be using. I mean, you may be using something else, DJI Go or some other third-party software, you'll find the settings in there. But this is typically where you're going to go. So we'll use DJI Go 4. Looking at the main screen here, I have my Phantom 4. It's not connected. But if I go to my upper right-hand corner, there's 3 dots. And if I click on those dots, I'm going to get into the settings page, right? So if we click that, we're going to get to here, the main controller settings. And in here, there are 2 things we need to look at. We're going to first look at the return to home altitude, which is the second one down. So this is, when the drone disconnects from something, it's going to pop straight up. If your controller gets shut off, if your battery malfunctions, if you hit the return to home button on your controller or on your screen, it's going to go straight up, make a beeline over to the home point, which should have been set at the beginning of the flight. Make sure that's always set. And then it's going to go straight down. So this is telling it how high it's going to go. I typically set this to 100 feet. So if it's set into meters, I'll set it to 30 meters. I know that that's higher than pretty much any tree that I'm going to be dealing with. I may set it to 120 if I'm not quite sure, if I'm in an odd area, if I know I got plenty of height. So you want it to be high enough to clear everything, but it doesn't need to be 400 feet. That's going to take a lot of battery and get up real high, and the lower the better, but also the lower as long as you're clearing everything. All right, so set that to about, I have mine set to about 30 meters. And it'll stay that way. Next time you open up the drone, these settings will save. So you need to really just check it once. When you first get your drone. We also have the beginner mode here. If you're just starting out, I would recommend clicking on that. That will slow everything down. It will keep your drone within 100 feet of you, no matter what. So 100 feet high or 100 feet distance. So it creates a bubble around you. So you get yourself in a big wide open field. You can learn how to fly without the drone going beyond that. No matter what happens, it won't go beyond that 100 feet. So that's kind of a nice feature. And then the set max flight altitude here under the beginner mode, that should be, as we know, for a Part 107 pilot, 400 feet, 122 point something meters, set it to 122, and you'll be just under 400 feet, and legal in the United States, and I think most countries is the same. So, that won't let your drone go up farther than that, no matter what. So that's what we want. Maybe we'll be breaking the law if the FAA Part 107 regulations if we go higher than that, unless there's an exception. But we won't worry about that now. Take the 107 class if you don't know what that is. So that's it. Set to 30 meters for the return home altitude and 122 meters for your max flight altitude. Here in DJI Go, main controller settings, this top blue drone looking symbol is where you're at. I find, once you check it every now and then while you're in there. Once you set it in, it'll remember it. But good to know. Don't mess with them, but make sure you know what they're at. All right.